Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Rema Deshuri. I'm a mindset and spiritual business coach, and I'm here to drop the motherfucking bombs on some very vague terms used in the spiritual, even business world, right? We all see this positive shit online that says, go with the flow, let go, believe it and you can do it, and blah, 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 right? What I wish they would have taught us in school is what those terms mean and how important they are to everything that you do in your life. So hopefully this will help some of you move through some things that you're in right now, some things that look a little uncertain, some things that are causing stress or depression or anger in your life. The purpose of this video is to help you clear that energy out and have a completely different mindset on what you're going through, regardless of what it is. There have been lots of points in my life where I would consider it to be a rock bottom. And for some reason, I kept going through this pattern of rock bottom, rock bottom, rock bottom. It didn't matter how much money I was making, who I was dating. I mean, I used lots of different outlets to try to fulfill this part of me that wanted to be happy, like truly, truly happy. And so I went on business ventures. I made some money. I had a daughter. I started a family. I did all of these things that I thought would make me happy, especially relationships. My drug of choice was definitely love. And so I was constantly going through new relationships, wanting that fresh puppy love feeling. And I came to find that none of that stuff was ever going to make me happy. And yeah, of course, there is substance use and all this other stuff, but I mean, we use lots of different things other than substances to fill that hole. We use work. We work ourselves to death. We keep ourselves distracted. We go out all the time, constantly socializing because we can't stand to be with ourselves. And sometimes we don't go out at all because we're so scared of what the world will think of us. Life has many, many different things to offer. But if you are not centered, if you haven't found that thing that puts you here, that makes you feel alive, if you haven't realized who you are, you will search for this happiness thing for a long, long, long time until you realize that it's just all around you. It's in the play, it's in the having fun, it's in the small things, the taste of life when you're driving fast on the highway, gazing over a beautiful sunset, just being here now, being present, right? Whenever we are feeling angry, whenever we're feeling stressed, whenever we're feeling depressed, I believe we have forgotten that we need to be grateful. We have forgotten what a huge opportunity we have to be here now. And there are people, next time you're upset or you're not sure what to do or you think you're about to lose it all, remind yourself that there are people in the hospital praying to have the opportunity that you do right now. You really don't have a reason to stay sad, angry, and depressed. You're a human, so you will get sad, angry, and frustrated sometimes, of course. It's important not to invalidate your feelings, but at the same time, when you stay there, you're choosing poverty, you're choosing stress, you're choosing a lack of self-worth. How do you rise above that? How do you clear that energy out? How do you remember who you are? For you to remember who you are, you have to reconnect with that which you call God. How do you do that? You love yourself. How do you love yourself? Another broad term that is used way too often these days is self-love. And lots of people think it's self-love is self-development. We think self-love is We think self-love is getting your hair done and blah, blah, or, treating yourself to ice cream, or maybe it's eating healthy. I don't fucking know. But none of that is self-love. It's self-care. All of that stuff is self-care, which is very necessary to your journey. But self-love is where it starts. So how do you love yourself if you are not doing that with an action? How do you love yourself without doing an actual thing? Like reading a book or taking your goddess bath. How do you love yourself? You support your decisions. That is how you love yourself. You get a decision, you make a decision, and you get behind it 100%, full send, all the way, all the fucking way, and you don't look back. It doesn't matter what you choose. You need to understand that there's no right or wrong answer in this lifetime. You have to decide what you want, and then you move forward and you don't look back. You don't make excuses. You just keep showing up and having faith, even though it doesn't look like it's going to happen. You have to trust, know that you're supported anyways. And this is where you become whole. When you love yourself so much that you never say another bad thing. You love yourself so much, you let yourself be you, whether that's with your self-image, what you're choosing to eat, how you're choosing to exercise and diet, what kind of relationship you're in, how you choose to dress. You just support yourself 100%. The minute you start comparing yourself to someone else, you are silently saying to yourself that you're not enough and you need to change something about yourself to be like somebody else, especially in this spiritual world, right? We like to see leaders, spiritualists, and say, this is what a spiritual life looks like. I have to do these things to be spiritual. I have to be this person to be spiritual. And maybe you've heard me say this before, spirituality doesn't look like anything. Spirituality is a relationship with you, a healthy relationship with yourself. That is loving yourself. Self-love is spirituality. Do you get it? It's the same thing. Okay? What happens when you when you master this concept and then you bring it into your business? What happens when you master this concept and then you bring it into your home? What happens when you master this concept and you bring it into any other part of your life that extends from you? You have to run into abundance. You have to run into all the beautiful things that life has to offer. You have to be led to your desires because you are now a vibrational match to it. Do you understand? Ask the right questions. If you're no longer willing to live in poverty, then you have to take your mind out of the poverty mindset. If you're no longer willing to be in unhealthy relationships, you have to take your mind out of unhealthy relationships. You cannot do in your external world what you can't do for yourself up here. You have to think and talk to yourself like you are a god. Talk to yourself like you talk to God. Talk to yourself how you speak to your children. Whatever example is best that's coming to you now, talk to yourself with so much grace and honor and appreciation, and really love yourself. Give yourself just a week of doing this and watch miracles happen in your life. It's life-changing. It's absolutely life-changing. And this is just the basis. This journey, this thing that we call life, it never ends. And it's so beautiful to jump on something and continue to grow by going deeper within yourself and finding new parts of you that you never knew existed, new gifts and talents that you get to uncover and then bring back to the world and spread the message. This is how that gap that you are missing is filled. You are the only person that can fill it. No thing or person or substance is going to do it for you. It's just not possible. It's just not possible to have something else satisfy you, because the minute that they're temporary. And that's why, when somebody's spouse dies, some people are never the same after that. Some people are never the same. This was actually my grandmother. I mean, one of the happiest people that I knew. And then my grandfather died. And she was never the same after that. It's like a part of her went missing, and she didn't feel that she could ever get it back. We use temporary things, and sometimes those temporary things are long-term, but we are reminded within these long lives that we have just how dependent we are on the external. When you take all the things away, whenever you take your family and your career and anything that makes you feel good, when you take those things away, can you still feel whole? Can you still feel gratitude? This doesn't mean that God or something out there is ready to take it away to remind you just how grateful you should be. It doesn't work like that. But it's important to put yourself in this position so you know where you're being dependent on one thing. It's important to remove our dependent nature on these external things, because this is the breakthrough. This is the connection to you, the thing that you call God, which is you. This is how you connect with it. You have to remove all of the things. You have to be fearless in losing it. It's a very interesting position to be in, to be on the verge of losing everything. And I've been there many times, too many times. And the pattern for me was I had such low self-esteem. I valued myself so little that I continued to allow rock bottoms happen, because this was my pattern, and it was subconscious, which meaning I was unaware. So through my life, I've been following this subconscious pattern that I was completely unaware of. I guess we could say it was unconscious. But for me to change that, what do I do? If you're living a pattern that's in your subconscious, which your subconscious is running the show 95% of the time, you are just responding to your world and literally leaking out subconscious vibes, if you will. So your reality is mirroring what you are putting out. The Bible references this, like what you get is what you give. The seed that you plant is what you will sow. What you put out is what you get back. And we think that what we put out means what we do for other people, how positive our thoughts are. But if you're not willing to go deep enough within yourself to really find your fears, what are you really scared of? What are you really dependent on? What area of your life are you really not living in love? If you're not willing to go deeper and ask the right questions, you will be subconsciously leaking out a low frequency, which in return is going to come back to you tenfold. And then these things happen and we go, why? Why me, God? Why? I tried my hardest and I do all this. Why? There's the pattern. Why me? Victim mentality. I do all this stuff and I just can't move past it. There's the subconscious pattern. I do everything that I can and it still doesn't work out. I do everything that I can and it still doesn't work out. Think about these words. I do everything that I can and it still doesn't work out. That is your internal blueprints. That is your internal programming that you are releasing out into the world. So how do you change it? You say something else. You find the fear, you find the lie, you come back to your true self, and you do daily inner work to reprogram and rewire yourself so you can really think differently. When you think differently, you speak differently. When you speak differently, you feel differently. And when you're thinking and feeling and speaking differently, you believe something different. And in return, you are leaking out subconsciously, meaning you don't even have to think about it anymore, high vibes, high frequencies, and your reality will mirror it. This is what I teach in the Holy Shift. We ask the right questions and we deep dive into the complete fucking darkness, and we do it together as a group, because who the fuck goes into a dark abyss by themselves anymore? I can't say that I would be where I am now without mentors, therapists, coaches. I wouldn't be where I am at now, and my progress is rapid when I have a support system. Sometimes all we need is somebody on the side going, go there, you can do it. In fact, let's do it together. That is the Holy Shift. That is the Holy Shift. It's getting rid of those things that we keep filling and filling and filling, doing away with that, dropping all the bullshit, empowering ourselves, mastering our matrix so we can really see clearly, so we can really get a grip on what the fuck is going on and have enough courage to move forward. That is what the Holy Shift is. And I feel so deeply about this work. I've been working on it for almost a year, off and on for about a year. And I was going to wait until my website launched, and something in me was like, no, you're gonna do it now. So here we are. The Holy Shift is officially launching. It is a group immersion, if you will. You will be doing it with other people. And there will be a couple Facebook Lives. You'll be put into a private Facebook group so we can all support each other. We can do the daily inner work together. And the lives will be held once a week for X amount of weeks. I'm not sure if I want to do 5 or 6 weeks yet. But as I solidify the details of this course, this immersion, I decided to open the enrollment for the Holy Shift today. So if this is something that is for you, you feel it. This course, this program, whatever you want to call it, this is not for everyone. I'll tell you that. It is something you must feel. You know in your heart. You turn off the video and Rayma's voice is still playing in your head. Something is telling you, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Regardless of what everybody thinks or what your human mind tries to tell you, there's something in your heart that's telling you to fucking go for it. Those are the people that I created this video for and that I created this course for. And if it's not for you, that's okay. There's something else out there that is absolutely perfect for you. But if this is something that you feel in your heart, please message me and I will give you more details. I'll answer as many questions as I can, price details, and payment instructions and yada yada. There's a bit of a process, but I will be answering most of these questions over the next few days. Sit on this, think about it. You have time, and really decide, is this something that I want? Is this something that I'm ready for? Is this something that I feel in my heart is for me? So it's time to go to the places, unlearn a lot of things, and we're going to do it with every ounce of faith that we have. Every cell in your body is going to be different, literally, whenever we're done. That is what I have to say to you. Holy shift. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for my future posts. I always put my fucking heart and blood into those. So thank you for following. Watch out for some new stuff coming up in my posts with details and daily inspo. And thank you for showing up as you today. And regardless of where you go or what you decide to do next, I love you and the universe really fucking loves you. So if you tell yourself anything at the end of the day, before you go to sleep, remind yourself that the universe be loving you. And that's all you need in this life. I love you guys so much, and thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.